about erections, a common expectation is that they should be rock hard every single time. Many men worry if theirs are not as firm as they think they should be. Concern can create unnecessary stress, shame, or anxiety in intimate relationships. But the truth is, quality of an erection varies from person to person and even from situation to situation. What really matters is not whether it feels like stone, whether it is firm enough for satisfying sexual activity and overall sexual health. An erection is a natural process controlled by blood flow, nerve signals, and hormones. For most men, the same throughout life. Age, lifestyle habits, stress levels, sleep, and even medical conditions all affect firmness. For instance, younger men may notice stronger, lasting erections, while older men may notice some changes with time. This doesn't necessarily mean something is wrong, but it does highlight how erections are closely tied to overall health. Now, having erections that aren't rock hard every single time doesn't automatically mean a medical issue. Erections can be influenced by mental state, nervousness, performance anxiety. Distractions can reduce firmness. They can also be influenced by physical health factors like blood pressure, cardiovascular function, and hormonal balance. If erections are often firm enough for sexual activity, even if not rigid like a rock, there is usually no cause for alarm. However, someone consistently struggles with erection quality to the point that it affects intimacy or self-confidence. It may be a sign worth paying attention to. Erections are often called a window into men's health because problems with firmness can sometimes reflect underlying issues like high cholesterol, diabetes, or circulatory problems. In that case, seeking medical guidance is important not just for sexual well-being, but for overall health. The bigger point is that sexual health is not measured by how hard an erection feels, by whether it allows for intimacy, pleasure, and satisfaction. Good lifestyle habits such as exercising regularly, eating a balanced diet, reducing alcohol intake, avoiding smoking, managing stress, and getting enough sleep can all help improve erection quality. For many men, these changes make a greater difference than chasing unrealistic standards of rock-like erections. So, does it matter if your erections are not like a rock? In most cases, no. What matters is functionality, consistency, and confidence. If you can maintain an erection that allows for fulfilling intimacy, then you're healthy. And if you notice ongoing difficulties, that's an opportunity to care for your body and address potential health issues early. Erections, after all, not just about sexual performance, they are a reflection of your overall wellness. 5 keynotes of the speech. Erection firmness naturally varies between men and across different situations. What truly matters is whether the erection is firm enough for satisfying sexual activity, not whether it feels like stone. Mental factors like stress, anxiety, or distraction can affect erection quality temporarily. Erection issues can signal underlying health concerns like diabetes, high blood pressure, or heart disease. Healthy lifestyle habits play a major role in supporting strong erections and overall well-being. Erection firmness naturally varies between men and across different situations. Understanding this can help take away much of the unnecessary worry and self-judgment that surrounds the topic. Erections are not static or identical each time. They are influenced by a complex interaction of physical, psychological, and situational factors. For one man, an erection may feel extremely rigid one day, but on another day, different circumstances, it may feel less so, and both experiences can still be completely normal. Important thing to remember is that erections are highly responsive to what is happening in the body and mind at a given moment. Hormones, circulation, nervous system activity, even emotional state all play a role in determining firmness. For example, younger men often report stronger and more frequent erections due to higher testosterone levels and better vascular elasticity, while men in their 40s, 50s, and beyond may notice changes as natural aging shifts hormone levels and blood vessel function. This doesn't mean that softer erections automatically indicate dysfunction. It simply reflects the body's natural progression. Situational differences also play a huge part. Erections that occur during sleep or early in the morning are often firmer than those during sexual activity because they are less influenced by mental distractions or performance anxiety. In a sexual situation, mental state can have as much influence as physical readiness. Someone feels nervous, stressed, or pressured to perform, the body releases stress hormones like adrenaline, which counteract the very blood vessel relaxation needed for a firm erection. Why a man might notice that in relaxed, private settings, erections feel harder, while in situations where he feels judged or under pressure, they may feel less rigid. Variability is a natural part of human sexual response and not necessarily a cause for concern. Even day-to-day health factors can make erections vary in firmness. A poor night's sleep, A heavy meal, alcohol intake, or dehydration can all impact blood flow and energy levels, making erections less firm on certain days. Conversely, after exercise or periods of good rest, erections may feel stronger. These fluctuations are normal and highlight that erection quality is not a fixed measure of masculinity or health, a dynamic reflection of the body's current state. Some men worry if their erections don't feel rock hard every time. The reality is that what matters is whether the erection is sufficient for penetration and satisfying intimacy. Minor changes in rigidity from one occasion to another are expected and do not necessarily point to a medical problem. By recognizing that erection firmness varies naturally, men can reduce the anxiety that comes from unrealistic expectations. Instead of viewing each variation as a problem, it helps to see them as normal shifts in the body's response to lifestyle, emotions, and environment. This range not only reduces unnecessary stress, but can also improve sexual confidence, which itself enhances erectile performance. This variability reframes erection quality as something fluid rather than a rigid marker of health or ability. What truly matters is whether the erection is firm enough for satisfying sexual activity, not whether it feels like stone, and this distinction is important for both physical and emotional health. Men grow up with the belief that an erection must be rock hard every single time or else something is wrong, but that idea is more myth than reality. The real measure of sexual function is whether the erection allows for comfortable penetration and intimacy, not whether it matches an unrealistic standard of absolute rigidity. An erection that is moderately firm but steady can still provide full satisfaction for both partners, and when the focus shifts away from comparing hardness to an imaginary ideal, sexual confidence and enjoyment often improve. Sexual satisfaction is a broad experience that involves not just physical mechanics but also emotional connection, communication, and arousal. A man may feel pressure to perform in a certain way, which can create unnecessary stress that ironically reduces erection quality. Framing the goal from achieving maximum hardness to achieving functional, satisfying intimacy, the focus becomes healthier and more realistic. Understand this, tend to enjoy more fulfilling experiences because the emphasis is on closeness and pleasure rather than measurement and performance. Physiologically, are based on increased blood flow to the penile tissue, and there is a wide range of firmness levels that can still be perfectly effective. Men may notice that their erections do not always feel as firm as they once did, especially with aging, but if they remain firm enough for sexual activity, still considered normal. In fact, medical professionals often emphasize that erection quality should be judged on function rather than rigidity. The erection allows for penetration and sexual satisfaction. It is considered healthy and adequate. Perspective also helps reduce anxiety in men who constantly self-check during intimacy. Anxiety about not being hard enough can trigger a cycle of stress, which actually makes erections weaker. Understanding that firmness does not need to be absolute breaks this cycle, allowing the body to respond more naturally. Also play an important role in this shift in perspective. Open communication and reassurance can ease worries, reinforcing that satisfaction comes from the overall experience, not from whether the erection feels like a rock. Another key point is that temporary fluctuations in firmness are normal. Physical factors like fatigue, hydration, stress, alcohol can all make erections feel less rigid at times, but that does not mean they are inadequate. As long as they support enjoyable intimacy, they are serving their purpose. The obsession with extreme hardness often distracts men from appreciating their body's actual capabilities. Instead, on function helps cultivate a healthier and more confident approach to sexual health. Ultimately, what matters most is the ability to engage in intimacy that feels good, connection, and creates satisfaction for both partners. Rock-hard erections may sound ideal. Erections, whatever their level of rigidity, are what truly define healthy sexual performance. Mental factors like stress, anxiety, distraction can affect erection quality temporarily, and this is one of the most common yet least understood influences on sexual performance. Erections rely heavily on relaxation of the blood vessels that supply the penis, which allows increased blood flow to create firmness. For this process to work properly, the nervous system must shift into what is called the parasympathetic state, the rest and digest mode. However, stress and anxiety activate the opposite system, pathetic or fight or flight response, which raises heart rate, releases adrenaline, and diverts blood away from non-essential functions, including sexual activity. In other words, perceives pressure or stress, the body prioritizes survival over intimacy, making erections more difficult to achieve or maintain. Form anxiety is one of the clearest examples of this. A man who worries about whether he will be able to get or maintain an erection often experiences exactly the problem he fears. The cycle begins with worry, which triggers adrenaline, which reduces blood flow to the penis, which then confirms his fear, reinforcing the anxiety for next time. Back loop is extremely common and highlights how much mental state impacts physical outcomes. Even men with no physical health issues can struggle with softer erections if they are caught in this cycle of self-doubt and mental pressure. Distraction also plays a role. Erections are not just physical reactions, but also responses to arousal, which requires focus. If the mind is wandering to unrelated thoughts, work problems, financial stress, concerns about sexual performance, the level of arousal decreases. Without full mental engagement, the signals that trigger strong erections are weaker, leading to reduced firmness. This is why being fully present in the moment, both physically and emotionally, is so important for sexual health. Stress from everyday life can also spill over into the bedroom. Hours at work, poor sleep, family responsibilities, or financial pressures keep the body in a state of tension. Chronic stress elevates cortisol, a hormone that, when persistently high, not only erections, but also libido and energy levels in general. For some men, even if they are aroused, the buildup of stress chemicals makes it difficult to sustain firmness, showing just how interconnected mental health and sexual health really are. The good news is that because these influences are temporary, often be improved with relaxation strategies and lifestyle adjustments. Deep breathing, mindfulness, creating a calm environment before intimacy can reduce anxiety and shift the nervous system toward relaxation, allowing erections to occur more naturally. Communication with a partner can also relieve performance pressure, turning intimacy into a supportive experience rather than a test. By recognizing that stress, anxiety, and distraction are normal but manageable factors, men can stop viewing temporary changes in firmness as failures and instead address the underlying mental triggers. This perspective reduces self-blame and helps restore both confidence and erection quality. Consistent erection issues can signal underlying health concerns like diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, and this is why medical professionals often describe erectile function as a barometer of overall health. Erections rely on a complex system that includes healthy blood vessels, efficient nerve signaling, balanced hormones, and proper circulation. When any of these systems are compromised, erection quality is often one of the first areas where problems appear. Because the blood vessels in the penis are smaller than those in other parts of the body, minor blockages or reductions in blood flow can cause noticeable changes in firmness long before other symptoms of cardiovascular disease become apparent. In this way, erection problems can act as an early warning sign, giving men a chance to detect and address health concerns earlier than they might otherwise. Diabetes is one of the most common medical conditions linked with erectile dysfunction. High blood sugar levels over time damage blood vessels and nerves, which are critical for erections. Men with poorly controlled diabetes may experience reduced sensation and difficulty maintaining sufficient blood flow to the penis, results in weaker erections. This makes erectile dysfunction not just a quality of life issue, but also a sign that blood sugar control and overall metabolic health need urgent attention. High blood pressure is another condition strongly tied to erection problems. Constant pressure against the walls of blood vessels causes them to stiffen and lose flexibility, which reduces their ability to expand and allow increased blood flow during arousal. Medications used to treat high blood pressure can also have side effects that influence erection quality. The combination of vascular changes and medication effects often makes hypertension a silent but powerful contributor to sexual health issues. Disease represents perhaps the most significant underlying risk connected to erection problems. Because the same vascular system supplies both the heart and the penis, restricted blood flow in one area often means trouble in the other. Studies have shown that erectile dysfunction can precede a diagnosis of heart disease by several years, essentially acting as an early warning system. A man who notices consistent difficulty with erections may be uncovering a cardiovascular issue that, if treated early, prevent more serious complications such as a heart attack or stroke. Other conditions such as hormonal imbalances, obesity, sleep apnea, even chronic stress can also contribute to persistent erectile difficulties. Each of these issues affects circulation, nerve signaling, or hormone production in ways that directly interfere with sexual function. By paying attention to the body's signals, men can use changes in erection quality as a clue to investigate broader aspects of health. Medical advice is not just about improving sexual performance, but also about addressing potentially life-threatening conditions early. Ultimately, Consistent problems with erections are rarely just about sex. They are often the body's way of pointing to deeper health concerns. Treating them as warning signs rather than isolated frustrations empowers men to take better care of their overall well-being and possibly prevent more serious health outcomes in the future. Healthy lifestyle habits play a major role in supporting strong erections and overall well-being because erections depend heavily on the body's cardiovascular, hormonal, and nervous systems, all of which respond directly to daily choices. One of the most powerful factors is regular physical activity. Exercise improves blood circulation, strengthens the heart, and helps keep blood vessels flexible, are essential for the increased blood flow needed during arousal. Even moderate activity like brisk walking, cycling, or swimming can make a significant difference over time. Reduces the risk of conditions such as high blood pressure, diabetes, and obesity, which are strongly linked to erectile dysfunction. Exercise regularly often notice not only better erection quality, but also improved energy, confidence, and mood, which further enhance sexual health. Another pillar of erection health, a diet high in processed foods, sugar, and unhealthy fats contributes to clogged arteries, high cholesterol, and poor circulation. In contrast, diet rich in fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, whole grains, and healthy fats provides the nutrients that support vascular and hormonal health that benefit the heart, also benefit erections because they enhance blood vessel function. For example, leafy greens, nuts, berries, rich fish are known to improve circulation and reduce inflammation, which directly supports stronger erections. Staying hydrated is equally important. Hydration can reduce blood volume and make it more difficult to maintain firmness. Avoiding smoking and limiting alcohol intake are critical lifestyle choices. Damages blood vessels and restricts circulation, leading to a higher risk of erectile problems even in younger men. Alcohol, when consumed in excess, nerve signaling and lowers testosterone, both of which can weaken erections. While occasional moderate drinking may not cause long-term issues, heavy or regular consumption is a well-established risk factor for erectile dysfunction. By reducing or eliminating these habits, men can significantly improve their chances of maintaining healthy sexual function throughout life. Stress management and quality sleep also play key roles in erection health. Chronic stress elevates cortisol, which interferes with testosterone levels and keeps the body in a constant state of tension, reducing sexual desire and function. Practicing mindfulness, meditation, or relaxation exercises can help lower stress and allow the body to return to its natural balance. Sleep is equally essential. Testosterone levels are largely regulated during rest. Men who consistently lack adequate sleep often report reduced libido and weaker erections. 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night supports not only sexual health but also overall vitality. Finally, a healthy weight ties together many of these lifestyle habits. Excess body fat, especially around the abdomen, is linked with reduced testosterone, insulin resistance, cardiovascular strain, all of which contribute to erectile dysfunction. By committing to healthier daily habits, men not only improve their erection quality, but also protect their long-term health. Erections serve as a reflection of how well the body is functioning, and lifestyle choices provide one of the most effective ways to keep that system strong, responsive, and reliable. In closing, the hardness of an erection is not just a matter of performance or appearance. It is a valuable indicator of how well the body is functioning as a whole. Erections rely on healthy blood flow, hormones, a responsive nervous system, and a lifestyle that supports cardiovascular and metabolic health. When problems arise, reveal much more than a temporary issue in the bedroom, they can point to conditions like diabetes, high blood pressure, or heart disease that need attention. The encouraging reality is that men have significant control over this aspect of their health through daily choices, staying active, eating a balanced diet, managing stress, avoiding smoking, proper sleep. By paying attention to erection quality and making conscious changes, men not only improve sexual health but also safeguard their long-term well-being. In many ways, caring for erections is caring for the entire body, and that makes the question of firmness one of both personal confidence and lasting health.